So the State of Play provided a brand new Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer that we all really expected to come. I wanted to make this video because, one, I absolutely love the trailer, but two, I do have some major concerns regarding to Final Fantasy VII Remake. Before we get started, please like this video, as that really helps out, and if you are a brand new subscriber, hit that subscribe button and share this video, because I want you guys to actually sit tight and actually really get where I'm actually coming from when it comes to story, video game, graphics, and all that stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on with this topic. We all know that Final Fantasy VII Remake was announced in 2013 at the exact same time Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced, and I remember everybody was so hyped for it, including myself, and we were really digging deep and looking back to our childhood. I remember when I was 5 looking at Final Fantasy VII, playing it on the Game Boy or whatnot. I don't even remember what system I played Final Fantasy VII on, but regardless of the fact, we all really enjoyed Final Fantasy VII because it was such a very big title. And once the remake was announced, everyone was really excited when this came on, including myself. But now we're at a state where the gaming industry is now very serious, along with graphics, story-wise, and everything. And this is kind of why I wanted to make this video for you guys, because I wanted to share my concerns with you, and I want you guys to, hear me out just a little bit, because a lot of people are speculating that Final Fantasy VII Remake will be coming out at the end of this year, the end of 2019, or during 2019. And that's something I kind of fear just a little bit, and I'll explain why. One of my concerns that I fully want to say right now is something that's really important when it comes to doing video games in the first place, and that is story pacing. Story pacing was a problem back in Final Fantasy XV, and that's something that Square Enix needs to put in check, because this isn't really good for the gaming industry and all that stuff, because we all know that Square Enix sometimes have the tendency to, leave things out just a little bit, or just rush the story by so quickly without fully explaining what's going on or whatnot. And that's a concern that I have with Final Fantasy VII Remake. As soon as they said, and people were speculating, that this game will come out by the end of the year, that was the number one thing that had me concerned, was story pacing, because story pacing is definitely the number one thing that Square Enix needs to pay attention to. But not only Square Enix, but us as the players, we also got to just fully understand what the game is fully talking about. Because when we originally played Final Fantasy VII, before Final Fantasy VII Remake was announced, we all really enjoyed the story of Cloud, how he was dealing with troubles with Sephiroth, and just basically just thinking about the story, and really, as we're playing it, just really feel what they're feeling. And I think that's the number one thing that Square Enix need to keep in mind, because if they don't keep this in mind, then the game won't be enjoyable. Because if the game doesn't be enjoyable, basically it'll be a recycle of Final Fantasy XV all over again, and I don't want that to really happen. Another thing that I'm concerned about is missing content, which again was a problem in Final Fantasy XV. It's okay to have some sort of missing content in the game, but what's not okay is to have so much missing that is supposed to be in a story that wasn't really put in at all, but just really set aside as DLC, which led to Final Fantasy XV creating all these numerous amounts of DLC, which is supposed to be in the story. I just pray that Final Fantasy VII Remake doesn't make that same mistake as Final Fantasy XV, where there are all these contents and all these questions that we all wanted to know that's just set aside in DLC. That's something that's not okay. As a game developer, as a player, in general, like as a director too. That is not okay. Like, I just pray again that Final Fantasy VII Remake will do better as Final Fantasy 15, because it was confirmed that there will be certain parts in Final Fantasy VII Remake, because in the original we had like 2 or 3 parts, I don't remember. So they confirmed literally is Final Fantasy VII Remake, we will have the exact same things as the original Final Fantasy VII. So I'm just happy to hear that, and I hope that Square Enix again takes the time to actually slow down and process and think about what they're actually doing before making these big decisions. And I think that's something that I will love and enjoy. The last thing I want to talk about is gameplay, and gameplay is the second most important thing to me when you're playing an actual video game or storytelling video game. Because literally Final Fantasy 15, I wasn't satisfied with the gameplay. The gameplay I thought was trash. The only thing that you could possibly do was attack, do magic spells, and do all that stuff. It wasn't really that much exciting, just like, I don't know, Final Fantasy Lightning Returns, or Final Fantasy 13, or Final Fantasy Zodiac Age. Like, it wasn't really as good as this right here, because like it's literally something that Square Enix also needs to make sure that they're really tight on, because like when you're rushing an actual gameplay stuff, and it looks so good in Final Fantasy VII Remake, but people shouldn't take that as, okay, just because it looks good in the actual trailers, that means it'll be good in the game. Nope. What happened to Kingdom Hearts 3? At first, we saw the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers, and the gameplays and stuff were really good until we get the actual copy of the game, the whole game, and there was still some floatiness going on, there was some glitches going on with the game, and lots of stuff been happening. It's because of, like I said before, it's just rushing. Rushing is the main problem that Square Enix has, and I think that they need to just, once again, slow down and have a slow pace, because they need to make sure that everything is right for the players and everything is right for them as well, because they want to get good reviews and they want to get good positivity with the fans, because the fans are the main key. We are the main key when it comes to playing these type of games, and we give them feedback, because like if we give them negative feedback on what they should have done or what they could have improved on, then it would look bad on their part, and that's something that Square Enix need to focus on as well. They have been focusing on that, but I feel like they should focus it on a little bit more off to the edge, because like it's something that is the main concern when it comes to game reviews and when it comes to storytelling. That's something that's really important, is gameplay. Gameplay is something that needs to be taken seriously and all that stuff, because like I said before, I wasn't satisfied with the gameplay with Final Fantasy 15. I thought it was complete trash from the beginning. Even though they said that they were going to fix it and everything, I still was not satisfied, because I literally found out that it was the same thing, and I just couldn't really stand it. So I hope that Final Fantasy VII Remake does a better job than Final Fantasy 15, because it does not fit well at all. And the main reason why I keep bringing up Final Fantasy 15 is because I'm bringing up some mistakes from Final Fantasy 15 that I do not want in Final Fantasy VII Remake, so that way y'all can understand where I'm coming from, because this is really important when it comes to playing this game, when it comes to storytelling, when it comes to just understanding the concept of the game, because we want to really feel like this is the original Final Fantasy game. We don't want us to feel like this is a boring game like Final Fantasy 15 or another boring Final Fantasy game that doesn't really matter. So that's the main reason why I feel that this is important, and I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. That'll do for today's video, guys. Comment down below, what do you think about all the stuff that I literally just explained to you guys. What are your major concerns about Final Fantasy VII Remake, if you guys have any? And let me guys know if you are truly hyped for Final Fantasy VII Remake, because I am extremely hyped. It's just that I want to make sure that everybody understands exactly where I'm coming from, and I want to be sure that Square Enix knows what they're doing this time, because we do not want another mistake from Final Fantasy XV going into Final Fantasy VII Remake. So comment down below what you guys think. Until then, I'm Biax, and as always, may your heart be your guiding key, and I'll check you guys later in the next video. Peace out.